A woodworker's journey is made possible by the generous support of people like you. Please go to our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/AELLC to become a friend of the show. Without you, we would not be able to create this fine program. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Baruch Hashem, and welcome to A Woodworker's Journey. In my first episode, I said that I will primarily be doing build videos on this channel. However, it's been 4 months, and I have yet to do a single build video. Well, that ends today. Today, I'm going to start building a workbench. I purchased the plans for this workbench from Rex Kruger, a YouTube woodworker whose content I enjoy. I originally purchased his complete jointer's bench bundle. Then, he came out with a minimum timber bench, and I purchased those plans as well. I have a link to those plans in the description below, so you can check them out. Make sure you take a look at his other fine offerings, including his tools from the Compass Rose Tool Company. This build is not sponsored by Rex Kruger, even though he does know I exist, and he is a subscriber to this channel, so thank you, Rex. I purchased both sets of plans because I like how most of the base is assembled in the minimum timber bench, and I like the top and more solid torsion braces, if that's the right term, of the jointer's bench. This build is going to be split into a number of parts because it is taking me a lot longer to build this bench than I had anticipated. In this episode, I'm going to work on constructing the front legs of the workbench. Let's get started. The first thing that I do is I letter each of the 2x4s, so that way I can follow Rex Kruger's cut list instructions on his plans. I am putting this dolly down on the floor. I'm going to be using that as a stop block as I am cutting the 2x4s. I am now getting my speed square and my tape measure to get ready to measure everything out. So I'm asking my shop supervisor to come in and help me measure out the 2x4s for the length of the legs. He is taking time out from riding his bicycle because he wanted to help. Shop supervisor then helps me move the dolly over so that I can set it up to the proper length so that when I go ahead and cut the legs for the bench, they are all going to be the same length. Plugging in my miter saw. Here's an important safety tip. When you have little children around, make sure your power tools are not plugged in until you are ready to use them. I'm getting ready to make my cut. I'm telling my shop supervisor that I'm going to make a loud noise because he doesn't like loud noises, and here is my very first cut. legs I'm going to be cutting are actually going to be used for the back legs, since they are the same length as two of the boards in the front legs. My shop supervisor decided he wanted to show an experimental angle on this last cut. Again, I asked my supervisor's assistance in measuring out the next two boards that are going to be used in the front legs. Notice again that my miter saw is unplugged. When you have little children who like to touch everything, you want to make sure that the miter saw is not plugged in so he doesn't actually turn it on. The dolly as a stop block so that the next two cuts are identical in length. Unfortunately, you're not going to see those cuts because this is the time when the camera's battery decides to die on me. I am now measuring out the angle for the front part of the front leg. This doesn't exactly have to be super precise, as long as when you go ahead and cut that front piece is mirroring that angle. going to be gluing up the two pieces of the front leg. I hope you enjoyed the first part of my first build video. In the next part of this workbench build, I will work on constructing the back legs. That's all I have for today. I'm happy that you have decided to come along with me on this journey. Thank you, and happy woodworking. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and like and comment on this video. A Woodworker's Journey is brought to you by the generous support of people like you. You can support this program by going to our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/AELLC to become a friend of the show. We could not do this without you. Thank you for your time, and I hope you found today's episode entertaining.